Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, welcome back to my kitchen. Whoever doesn't know me, my name is Svetlana, and today I want to share with you one of my favorite recipe for fried piroshki with potato, onion, and dill. It's delicious. We could fry them, but we also could bake them. So I'm gonna make most of them fried and few of them baked, just to show you so you would have variety. So now, in the beginning, I want to go over the ingredients, what we're gonna need, and we're gonna start making our dough. All right, we will need 500 grams of all-purpose flour. I love King Starter. You could use the one you love. We will need 350 milliliters of warm milk, a tablespoon and a half of sugar, 2 teaspoons of yeast, dry yeast, a teaspoon of salt, around 70 grams of butter that we're gonna melt. This is gonna be for the dough. And then for the stuffing, I have around 9 potatoes. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna use for this amount of dough, but as we go, I'm gonna tell you exactly. I'm gonna use 2 medium onions that we're gonna fry, and dill, as much as you want, or you could skip it, it's up to you. So let's begin by making our dough. I'm gonna make it in my standing mixer, my helper. Otherwise you have to knead it with your hands for about 10-15 minutes. I don't wanna do that because I have my mixer. It's a great help. If you guys cooking a lot, I advise to get it. So, okay, let's begin. On my kitchen scale, I have my kitchen scale here. I place my bowl and I press it to 0. And I add 500 grams of flour. To my flour, I add a teaspoon of regular salt and mix and set it aside. Now I put my milk in a microwave. We need to get it to a little bit warmer than the room temperature. It has to be like warm to a touch. So I'm gonna do 1 minute for that, and then we'll see. It took me 1 minute to warm up 350 milliliters of milk. Everybody's microwave is different. Guys, warm to the touch. You touch it with your pinky. If it's warm, not hot, because it's gonna kill the yeast, and not cold. So to that, we're adding 2 teaspoons of a half active dry yeast, not instant, active dry. That means it has to be dissolved in water or milk. And we're adding 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. We'll mix everything until your yeast is dissolved, and you leave it for a few minutes. Now, we combine our wet ingredients with our dry ingredients. Now, I'm gonna put it in my standing mixer and I'm gonna let it do the job. I put it in my standing mixer and I'm gonna make it mix until it's gonna come together. And we will see if we need more flour. Sometimes you need a little bit of flour. I'll show you. If it's like all like melted on the bottom, that means you need a little bit more flour so it comes kind of together. And I'll show you in a minute or two. Meanwhile, while my dough is mixing, I need to melt my butter because this dough is going to be so buttery and delicious. Oh my god. So we're going to put it in a microwave for 30 seconds and maybe another 20 seconds until it's all melted. That's what I wanted to show you. You see, like it's all together. You don't see nothing on the bottom because this morning I made the dough. I'm gonna show you right now the dough that I made because I don't want to wait till an hour and a half. And with the same ingredients, it was like on the bottom. The bottom was not coming up, so I had to add another tablespoon of flour. Every time it's different. I don't know the secret. If someone knows, please explain to me why you use the same ingredients and sometimes you need to add more, sometimes less. Okay. It is what it is. You melted your butter, you touch it, it's not hot. If it's hot, let it cool off because it's gonna kill your yeast. So now we're adding our butter all inside. And here with our butter, I'll show you, we're gonna start mixing, and it's gonna be a little bit hard for my mixer to absorb all the butter, but we're gonna help it. So we put it back. And oops, don't smash. Okay. So we'll let it work for a little bit, and then I'll show you. I kind of help it with the spoon, put it together, or if you do it on the surface, you're gonna have to knead until all the dough gonna absorb all that butter. It's a little bit of work, but trust me, they taste so good. It mixed a little bit. I stopped, and I kind of like mixed it with a spoon because it's gonna take some time for the butter, for the dough to absorb this butter, and it's okay. Okay, I want to show you again. See how it's not going? It's not going. It's still hard for the dough to absorb that butter. Okay, we're helping with our spoon again. Guys, it doesn't look like it's gonna work, but trust me, it will. So guys, I had to help with my spoon a few times, maybe like 4 times. And now, you see, Samuel, show. The dough absorbed all the butter. You don't see butter floating around it. So you probably took about 7 to 10 minutes. And that will take probably a little bit longer when you knead it by hands. So yeah, it's a job. So guys, look, this is my dough that I just made, and this is the dough that I made 2 hours ago. You could see how much it rised. It probably tripled in size. So this one, I'm gonna cover with the plastic wrap. What I did, I sprinkled a little bit of olive oil on in this dish. I just kind of spread it around, and then I put it inside, covered it with the plastic wrap, with a towel. Put it in a warm place for about an hour and a half until it's done. And if it's cold in your house, I always do my trick. I preheat my oven to 170. I turn it off. Guys, please turn it off. Don't put it in the oven when it's 170. Turn it off and put it inside. Or just put the light on in the oven and put it inside also. So, dough is ready. Now, we need a pot with water that we'll put it on. And we're gonna just boil, or I'm gonna slice my potato, and I'm gonna boil my potato. We cut our potatoes. You see, I have my potatoes in the water. Why I do that? So my potatoes doesn't go black. So when you peel your potatoes ahead of time, you put it in the cold water and it stays white. Otherwise, it's gonna turn black. So now I'm gonna cut it to these pieces because I needed to cook it fast because I have my dough already ready for me, waiting for me. So yeah, we're just gonna cut it, maybe even smaller. Well, it's okay, just pieces like that. And we're gonna make mashed potato. So my water started boiling. I add salt to it. And my potatoes. And we're gonna boil it till it's tender. We're getting our onion ready. So we just slice our onion. I cut it like that. You could cut it rings or cubes, really doesn't matter. We're gonna need to saute our onion. So while my potato is cooking, I'm gonna saute my onion. I'm gonna add about 1.5 tablespoons of frying oil. Let it heat up a little bit, and then I'm gonna add my onion. Add our onion. In the beginning, on high flame, see it start frying a little bit. Like it start frying a little bit. Now at this time, you add a little bit of salt. So now onion gonna release all its juices. And at this point, I'm gonna make my flame a little bit lower because I don't want to fry it. I want to saute it. I want it to become translucent and golden brown. So we still have our potato cooking. So we'll say it takes maybe 15 minutes to onion to cook on a very low flame. And this is how I like it. You could just fry it. But for me, when it's sauteed, it releases the sweetness and it's absolutely delicious. Now my potato is ready. They fork tender, and now I'm gonna make my filling. All I do, I add my butter, like 3 tablespoons of butter. Usually I would add more, but we have our onion. It's very juicy, so probably I'm gonna do a little bit less on the butter. And also I'm gonna add 1 cup of warm milk. Usually for mashed potato I use half and half or heavy cream, but this is already a lot of fattening stuff. And all we do, we just mash, and that's it. A bit of salt. I always add a little bit of pepper, even when I make regular mashed potato. And oh my God, guys, I tried in one restaurant wasabi mashed potato, and I'm gonna make it next time and I'll show it to you. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, so now, made our mashed potato, we mash everything well. So this is how it's supposed to look. This is how this onion's supposed to look. It's golden brown. It's not fried, it's sauteed. And the more onion we get, the juicier it will be, because onion is delicious. I could just eat it with bread. And the final step, we're gonna add dill. A little or as much as you like. Let me see how much I'm gonna do. I think this would do. This would be more than enough. So now, when you made your stuffing, very important, guys, you gotta try it. Because if it tastes good, then it's gonna taste good in your piroshkis. But maybe you need a little more salt, maybe you need a little more pepper. I need a little more butter, but it's okay. I'll skip on that because it's gonna be fattening enough. It's delicious. It's really, really yummy. So we'll leave it here and let's start working on our piroshki. Guys, what I do now, I cover a good amount of table with a plastic wrap. Okay, this is where I'm gonna place my dough. And here on this thing, I'm gonna roll it. Here's my beautiful dough. And I'm gonna cut it to a desired pieces. I'm probably gonna make, I don't even know how many I should make with this amount. Probably 12 or 13. Okay, let me see. This, 2, 3, 4, 8, 16. So they should be the same size, but guys, I'm not gonna weight it. I'm just gonna do it like that, like approximately the same. That's it. Good to go. A little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, who cares? Okay, now I'm just gonna place it right here, over here. So now, guys, it came out to 20 pieces. I'm gonna make small one, you could make large one, you could make 16 out of them or even 12. And now, when we're gonna be working on one, we have to cover the rest of them because you don't want them to get air. The dough gonna dry, so you always cover your dough with a plastic wrap or a clean kitchen towel, whatever you prefer, and that's it. So what I'm gonna do, the majority of them I'm gonna fry, but few of them I'm gonna bake. So you have a variety. I'll show you how I do both. So for the baking one, you need to let them rest. After we make them, we need to let them rest. So what we do, I'm gonna shade them and I'm gonna cover them and let them rest for 20 minutes before I place them in the oven. And then I'm gonna make the rest and we're gonna fry them. Okay, my friends, let's begin. We take out one. You could just stretch it with your hands, just like that. You don't even need rolling pin for that. You just kind of do it like that. And you add your stuffing. I would say, I'd say a full tablespoon. And we stick it together. You could make a nice design after that, but I could just stick it together, just like that. Turn it and put it on the baking tray, covered with the parchment paper, and that's it. We do another one. So guys, I made 6 of them that I'm gonna bake, and now I'm gonna cover it with a clean towel, and I'm gonna let them rest for 15, 20, 30 minutes, doesn't matter. Let them rest. They're gonna rise a little bit and they're gonna be puffier. And before we put them in the oven, I'm gonna make a nut wash, egg yolk with a little bit of milk, or you could just use a little bit of milk and just put it on top to make them more golden brown. So now we're gonna make the ones that we're gonna fry. So we're gonna continue making the same thing. We need a big pan or a pot with the high ends, because we're gonna fill it with vegetable or frying oil up to here, because our piroshkis needs to be covered in half. They're gonna absorb a lot of oil. Of course, the baking ones are much more less fattening. But guys, we don't make this every day. Usually we make it for holiday or impress somebody, or just, it's just so delicious. Once in a while, we could cheat on our diet and then stay on a solid for a month. Guys, our piroshki are ready to be cooked. And this is how much stuffing I got left. So probably you will use 2 potatoes less for all this amount. I have my egg yolk. I add about a tablespoon of milk to that. Whisk it. Take our egg wash and we just spread it. And this is gonna give our piroshki that beautiful, beautiful golden brown color. So my oven is preheated to 350, and I'm gonna put them until they golden brown. We'll see. I'm just gonna time 15 minutes and we'll take it from there. My vegetable oil, and it needs to be a lot of it, because yeah, it's not deep fried, but it's kind of, because they need to be covered in half. Half of them need to be covered in oil. So yeah, this is how we do it. Wait like a few minutes until our oil is hot. I cover my hands with flour, because usually you're supposed to make them and fry them right away, but I just didn't want to do it like that. I did it like that. So they don't stick, you cover them and you place them inside. Oops. You need to put hands with flour because dough starts getting sticky. So guys, my oil is really hot. I made my flame lower because as soon as I put them, they cooked kind of right away. So I didn't have a time to add the rest of them. So yeah, it was really, really hot. So now this too is ready. They cook within minutes. So I place them on a tray with the bouncy, and you see how they rise. Like that. This one needs a little more time. So now these are already ready. You see, oh my God, they're gonna be so crunchy and so delicious. Okay, these a little more because we want to get them to this color. And we continue frying them, guys. It's like 30-40 seconds and they're done. But make sure after your oil is hot, put the flame a little bit lower, otherwise they're gonna burn right away. I mean, everything is ready. Potatoes ready, dough needs, as soon as it's brown, it's ready. So yeah, control your flame, and that's it. Now we're gonna flip these. They're done. And you see, these are done too. That's it, guys. I show you when I'm gonna be done with all of them. So guys, my piroshki were in the oven, 360 degrees, not 350. I made mistakes. Sometimes I do. Everything's gonna be in the description. When you click that arrow, the amount and the time, everything's gonna be there. So 360 degrees. It took about 25-30 minutes to get them to a golden brown. So just put it on the timer, 20 minutes, and then look for this color. Now, when I took them out, I have to cover them. These are ready for a long time. These are just took them out. And Kobe says hi. high again, and you just cover them and let them rest until at least for 10 minutes. Guys, while my baked piroshki is getting cooler, I need to try this. Look at these. Look at these. And Kobe's drinking water. He doesn't let you hear the crunch. This is how they look. They're already cooled in the beginning. When you just take them out, like 5 minutes when they cool off, they like have that cracking sound when you break them. So, okay. Insane. This is insane. This dough is the winner. This is absolutely delicious. I know Daniel's looking at me like, "Ma, hurry up, I want to try it." Okay, Daniel. And for me to try, look at this one. Look at this one. I can't give it to you, Kobe. You're not allowed to eat that. I'll give you your carrots. Before I start eating them, I'm trying this one. I know it's still hot, but who cares? Look at these. These are still hot. Look at that. Beautiful. Demanding. I need to give Kobe a little something, otherwise he's not gonna let me film. So guys, thank you so much for spending time with me today. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any more of my videos. My baked pierogi needs to cool off a little bit. It's still so hot. And Kobe's here begging for more food because he loves bread. I can't give him bread because he's overweight, but he loves bread, and now he's gonna be crying, so I cannot talk to you anymore. So don't forget to leave some comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.